All right, let's see what we have here. Okay, we're live again. I'm going to try and do this. Let's see here. Okay, can you hear me, Wendell? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Wendell? Hello? Can you hear me? Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. This is just horrible. Yeah, audio. Yeah, this is just, this is so frustrating. You can't test it unless you go live. That's the thing. That's one thing that really drives me crazy. We have to be live. Huh? We have to be live. We are live. I know, but in order to test something, you have to go live. You're gonna have to shut it down off. Yeah. Off one plug, we'll put it back in, go live again. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, bear with us. You sure you got your microphone tuned? Oh, they can hear. They can hear? Yeah. Okay. Okay. You heard us like blah blah blah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. All right, well, here we go. We are live. You can hear me. Perfect. Yes. Wendell can't hear me. He probably doesn't have his speakers up. That might be. It's just so appropriate. Zoom live stream is the best. Okay. I can hear it now. I can hear him in the next room. I can hear me in the next room. Okay, we got it. All right, take a deep breath. Here we go again. Last week was worse, but this week's going to be better. All right, so it only took us 4 minutes to go live. Last week it took 30, so we're improving, right? Okay, all right. Lucinda can hear me and Wendell. Okay, it's been a whirlwind of a week, guys. Okay, so this is just so appropriate. All right, so let me see who's on. I've got Lucinda. Hey, Linda. And Elise, thank you. And Sheila, thank you for coming back on. Thank you for being patient. Yeah, this has been learning experience, and we learn every week. Hey, Tabitha, Carrie, hey, how you doing? Yeah, thank you guys for joining. I know your time's precious, and I really appreciate everyone taking time. Hey, Leanne, just to join for however long you've got. We definitely, I personally, of course, appreciate it, but I'm assuming everyone else does too. So you may have seen the event to where we're going to talk about amethyst. That's our focal crystal, but I mean, there's any crystal we can talk about. So it's not strictly amethyst, and I'm not going to, reject your comments if it's not about amethyst. So we're not going to go there. But I just wanted to see if anyone had any experience with amethyst that you'd like to share that's outside of the norm. When I say that, I'm really good, Carrie. I'm really good. Yeah, actually, I'm pretty good. I mean, it's something that people will just say that, but in all intents and purposes, I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking that. So amethyst is a crystal that I've had for a long, long time. I think it was actually my first crystal that I ever bought. It's so common and so easily accessible to everyone that I think most of us have an amethyst in our collection. You may not be particularly attracted to it or use it. Oh, thank you, hon. Oh, Elise. Thank you. Yeah, I'm fine. It does get kind of tense when things don't go as well as you expect, but that's all right. It's actually when it doesn't go as well as you expect, and that's the way it's supposed to go. So Sheila, amethyst was your first too? Yeah. So, and it's so common, and I think you can find it almost in every country in the world. And don't quote me on that, but I'm not sure. But even if you couldn't, then it would still be in a shop somewhere because it is so common. But I picked out a few of mine, and I don't know if y'all have any that you are enjoying at this moment. I didn't realize how many I had until I started going around the house, like picking out examples of what amethyst I have and how much I enjoy them. Yeah, I even got them in like the pyramid shape, which I love triangles, so I wasn't surprised that I found that one. Oh, so amethyst is your gateway crystal. I like that phrase. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Linda, that is true. I completely overlooked that memory. So to me, amethyst is a very, very strong healing crystal. And what I didn't show just now is I have a bag full, and here's the bag that I keep them in. Um, Amethyst windows. So these to me, amethyst is a master healer. I mean, that's its base personality is what I've been able to experience in amethyst. It is just such an amazing crystal. I don't know. I have several in that bag, but they all work in concert with each other, but independently at the same time. So actually, I gifted Linda with an amethyst. She was having some surgery, and I truly believe that it has healing powers. It'll do things for you that other crystals may not be able to, just because its basic functionality, I think, is for healing. There's other things that you can Google. You can look up different books, and like I'm pulling one now, one of my favorite books, 101 Power of Crystals. And I'm going to go to that page just to show you some of the things it tells us about the crystal. So one thing's sincerity and freedom from harm, right? But it symbolizes wisdom, deep love, devotion, and peace of mind. It actually symbolizes power, which the color purple, everyone I'm sure have heard the royalty of purple. So that's where I think it actually complements that phrase and that belief. But yeah, so to me, the color and the crystal itself just brings so much powerful energies to whatever intention you have. Yeah, so Tabitha is one of your favorites. So does anyone have any other experiences like Linda? She's experienced it to be a truly strong healing crystal. Does anyone else have any? Yeah, it is by Judy Hall. She's an expert. Let me try and get it. Judy Hall. Hey, Dougie, how you doing? Carrie, I know. Okay, so Carrie, I felt called to actually. I gifted Carrie with another amethyst window, and I felt compelled. The spirit led me to gift her that, but not only that, it had to go through a blessing ritual. So I set it on my altar, my altar, my directionally challenged over here. There we go, that altar over there, to get blessed. For I think it was on there for like 3 days. I do the blessings for myself and Wendell in the home, and in addition to that, I did Carrie's amethyst window. I'm doing very, very good, Dougie. I really am. Thank you. And I'm in no way tied to Judy Hall's book, guys, but it is one of my favorites. And of course, I do like you do. I Google, if I have a specific issue or I want to understand something more, I will first I'll Google, and then I try to rely on my intuition, because that's guys. Oh, yeah. Okay, Leanne. So this is a wonderful story, Leanne. Thank you for sharing this, because I know there's some vulnerability there. So Leanne, I really appreciate you putting that out there. Yeah. Um, there's so many things that have happened to all of us in our childhood. I don't know anyone that has had a safe and pristine and the childhood that you see on the TV. As in my era, it was the Leave It to Beaver household. They were perfect, which I didn't have a perfect childhood. And so I think that we all need that specific crystal or definitely emotional support group that gets us beyond that. You're devoted to golden healer. I'm smoky quartz girl, so I can completely appreciate that that feeling. Yeah, so I admire Amethyst. This guy, I love this guy. It looked to me, this one is like a little. It reminds me of a wolf paw, just the shape of it. So this one has a lot more power behind it than just a normal healing crystal. And I haven't done any deep journeys with this one, but I can certainly see where it would bring more than just a healer, right? I really think that this one has some protective powers, but you know that wolves are amazing pack animals. So I think that not only would this crystal help me with some type of healing, but I think it would also help me recognize my placement in the pack, which Wendell and I were a pack of two. Pack of two. And then, of course, my children. But from my family here, my family unit, we're a family unit of two. So I really think that crystal would lend itself and support that idea that Wendell and I both have places in the pack. And I think it would help solidify that, and then also reinforce the fact that, yeah, I don't always have to be right. He doesn't always have to be wrong, but we transition through the relationship. Yeah. Oh, Leanne, I completely understand that and agree. Hey, Maribel, how are you doing? Yeah, forgiveness. I mean, they say that acid only eats the container, right? So, I mean, if you have horrible, I mean, I'm not saying to forgive and forget. Sometimes that's not possible. You know, um, forgiveness, sometimes I think you just have to move beyond the emotion. Forgetting, I don't think you'll ever forget. I mean, there are just certain emotions that have happened or incidences that have happened to you that still will remain with you. So forgiving, forgetting, I'm not sure that they go hand in hand, but reconciling that emotion and putting it to where it doesn't affect you, that's the key. Don't give it power over you. It's ugly. I have a lot of ugly crystals. I mean, it's like one of those I had a dog once that he had no idea he was ugly. He thought he was the most precious thing in the world. So there are some crystals, yeah, they're just like, I call them the wounded warriors, right? I mean, they're just the forgotten, the ugly mugglies. They need love too, and I have a lot of them in my collection. Or I hesitate to even call them a collection because they're not in any way true collector specimens. But they still have importance for me. So yeah, you just have to, yeah. Mm. Yeah, you just have to let it go. You just go beyond the moment because it's not serving you any purpose. It really isn't. You just have to recognize that they're in a different evolution of spirit, and you can't allow them to keep you down at their level. You have to elevate in some way, however that might be. And if it's with a crystal or meditation or doing spiritual work, I mean, that's the way to move beyond. Absolutely. So, Maribel, you work with crystals a lot. Are there any experiences that you've had with amethyst that you could share with us? And once again, guys, I want to remind everyone that this is not an expert panel. I'm not an expert. I want to say that right away. I've been working with crystals a very long time. I have a lot of favorites. I have a lot of feelings and intentions and emotions and opinions, but that doesn't mean I'm an expert. The goal of this call and continually weekly, hopefully, if everyone finds interest in it, is to bring us together and share our experiences, because I know that the crystals that I have step out beyond what is the baseline of a crystal. It's very calming. Yeah. So, Maribel, your experiences with amethyst is very calming. Yeah. Yeah. I think I agree with you there. It's not a full blown energetic crystal. When I say that, it's not like get up and go and move mountains. It kind of like stabilizes me. Um, so it kind of helps me not center, and ground, and then almost like have clarity of thought, where you can actually pull your thoughts together and then take action to where the cloudiness, is dispersed. That's how I see the base personality of an amethyst. I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts on that? What I also realized with amethyst is that because it's so accessible to everyone, it's almost like, as Lucinda mentioned, it's almost like a gateway crystal. So it's like a starter pack. You can actually see today. You can see amethyst in Home Goods or Marshalls. That's the local stores we have here. I'm not sure that you would have them in your area, but they're they're almost everywhere. They're prolific everywhere. Yeah, yeah, the feminine energy. Yeah, I can certainly see that. Yeah, actually, I have a few amethyst pieces on my. Okay, there we go. That's kind of strange, but yeah, up there on my ritual table, um, for the goddess Isis. Yeah, I've got a few pieces set out for her, and then I also have a few pieces on my ancestor table. So yeah, I think it's a common, not just a common crystal, but it has the feminine energy as I would expect it to have. Yeah, and so Lucinda, when you feel the goddess energy from it, how does that make you react? So you're feeling the goddess energy, but what does it make you want to do? Ah, okay, there you go. You answered my question. All right, so Lucinda's saying to her, queens rise above it all. That's why amethyst is and will always be a gateway gem to want to know more and be more. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that's so spot on. I can certainly see that. So when you, yeah, queenly, right? I mean, a queen's not going to bow down and grovel. It's you're going to continually do better for yourself and your court or your tribe. Just trying to make sure that you're a step above whatever adversarial situation you might be in. Mhm. Oh, Maribel, an air sign. I can completely see why you need to stay grounded. Yeah, I'm an earth sign, so I'm too grounded. I have to get I have to get in my head because I stay too far down into the ground. I sometimes I forget to be a child, to be childlike. So that's where I have to counterbalance. It's definitely a challenge because it's not comfortable for me. It's not my go-to approach. So, Lucinda, no matter what life throws, you can handle it. You rub yours when you need enlightening. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Lucinda, do you have any amethyst pendulums? Or do you work with pendulums? I guess I should ask that first. Yeah, or do you just meditate with the amethyst and have the answers come to you through your meditation or the thought process? Oh, Lucinda's a water sign. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, I told somebody I needed to work more with water, or somebody told me that I need to work more with water, and I can agree with them. Yeah, it's really funny how you're attracted to what you know the most, and that's for me it's earth sign. So I'm just always trying to connect with that, but sometimes it's getting beyond that. That's where I struggle. That's where I struggle a lot. Let's see. Does anyone else have any experiences with any other crystal or amethyst in particular that you'd like to share? Okay. Hagstone pendulum. Yeah, I have. I showed that on a few shows back. My Hagstone pendulum. A clear quartz. I don't think I actually have a peach moonstone pendulum. It's a little tiny thing. Yeah, it's almost like this big at the tip of my finger. Okay, yeah. So Linda, yeah, you and I are in the similar situation to where you're an air sign, and I'm an earth sign. I need to do the opposite. I need to be more in my head intuitive instead of, I need that reinforcement. I need to feel it and see it before I believe it. And I think that I need to trust my intuition more. And I think that's the benefit of an air sign. You can actually trust your intuition more than I can, being an earth sign. See. Yeah, there's a lot of differences in the air signs, and I think it actually would be part of what we're attracted to on the crystals that we connect with. Oh wow, Lucinda, that is amazing. Yeah, spirit amethyst. I do have a few pieces of spirit amethyst here. Um, that I don't have I haven't had the opportunity, let me say that, to work with any specific angel outside of Michael. Um, so I have to take your advice there and try and connect with a spirit amethyst and see if it can and help me work through the angelic realm. Oh, Leanne, you're an earth sign. Yeah, I think I can appreciate that because of the journey that we did together. I can see where your practical side came out on that. Wow. Yeah, I have a friend that just went. Oh, how cool. Yay. Lucinda, I'm so happy about that. I did a matchmaking. That to me is exciting. So, Linda, I have a friend that just came back from Arkansas last weekend, and she posted a few pictures and videos on Facebook. She did a private a mine. No, it's called a pit dig. So they actually opened up part of the mine, and it was a paid trip. So you have to pay to go into the pit. But what she brought out was just truly astounding. Astounding. I can't believe that she was the first one to pull it out of the earth. That was just so amazing. Um, yeah, and she's actually invited Wendell and I to go with her the next time. I'm hoping it's going to be in April. So just around the corner. Yeah, Wendell and I, Lucinda, we started this journey. Oh, well, now it's going 4 years. It'll be 4 years in October. Um, Before that, of course, I've been working with crystals many years, but from a crystal matchmaking perspective, I'll call it like that. We've been doing this almost 4 years now, and I'm continually surprised, and I don't know why I am, that there are certain crystals that they don't make their presence known to anyone until the right person comes along. Yeah, so exactly, Linda. That's exactly my point. Um, it's almost like they have a. I'm going to. I don't know. You probably think I'm crazy to say this, but I really think that they put out a veil of a cloak of what is it called, to where their presence isn't seen, invisibility, right? And then yeah, I think that they do that so that when their owner or their their partner comes along, that's when they show themselves. Oh yeah, you need to. Wendell and I went to North Carolina. We actually went through Georgia to get. We flew into. Oh no, I'm sorry. We drove into Atlanta and then flew from Atlanta to back home to Houston. Yeah, absolutely. Maribel, thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to impart. So I don't think that we should pigeonhole any specific crystal. So, oh, the amethyst. Okay, yeah. Okay, so think about this, guys. And this is how I think about crystals. And you can take what I say, or agree with it or not, and I'm okay with it. But I really believe, and I'll repeat this time and time again, that crystals are a lot like dogs. I mean, if you went to the registry right now and looked up, I don't know, German Shepherds, for example, and they would tell you all its temperament and what that breed does and what that breed doesn't do, and then you get this German Shepherd puppy home, right, or this maybe a teenager or even an adult dog. And it might have its base characteristics, but it's so much more different than what you read online. And to me, that's the same thing with a crystal. It might have its base characteristics, but it truly is the crystal that you work with. So I'm going to hold it right there, which is totally different than my crystal. My crystal and my relationship with that amethyst is different than your crystal and your relationship. So I'm so happy that Maribel made that point because I truly believe that that's true. And I do trust that the people that have put together these books have a lot of knowledge. The same for the websites that we all go to. But I really want to make sure that y'all own the fact that you are the expert with your crystal. You know your crystal better than I could ever say it was. And so I'm really trying hard to empower everyone to connect with your crystal and see how it feels for you. You're going to be surprised. You're going to find, for example, you might come across in your collection or I don't know another word for collection, a crystal that we'll just say it's a red jasper. And a red jasper is predominantly known for grounding. I mean, it's a stone to help you feel safe and sure of yourself. But maybe that specific red jasper is the one that'll help you meditate and talk to angels, which is totally off base, what you wouldn't expect it to be. But it could be that that's the strength of that crystal. So don't discount its abilities. Don't discount its unique powers, because otherwise you're going to miss out. Because you'll probably have something in your collection right now that you're looking for, a crystal to help you connect with your third eye or bring out your intuition. And if you go into your room, wherever you keep your crystals, or if it's throughout your home, just open yourself up to the communication of the crystal. Just maybe walk throughout your home and say, I need a crystal that will help me overcome shyness, right? So maybe that's something that you're dealing with right now. Just walk throughout your home and say that out loud. Of course, I mean, I would tell your family members what you're doing so they don't think you become unhinged. just walk throughout your home and just say that phrase, as you're walking through your home. We've got crystals everywhere. I'm sure you do too. They're spilling out. So do that and just see if there's any crystal that just steps up, and you'll know. Of course, it's not going to vocalize. It's not going to say, hey, Lucinda, I'm here. It's not going to say that. But your intention will be taken. You'll see something, a spark, a flash. You'll turn and you'll see that crystal that's been sitting there for months, maybe years, and you've not paid any attention to it. Then all of a sudden you've said that phrase, I need a crystal that'll help me with my shyness. Then that crystal will have jumped up and volunteered to be what you need it to be. And then you hold that crystal in your hand, and you once again say that phrase and get the feeling from that crystal. Did it agree? Is it the crystal to help you with this? And if it is, then that's the crystal that will help you overcome your shyness. So I just really want to empower everyone to trust your intuition. You will know. And then not just your intuition, but the crystals you have. Ah, all right. So Lucinda actually had that happen. Hmm. Yeah. So Lucinda, you may be the conduit for golden healers, and you understand completely what that crystal can do for people. Um, so the way I see a golden healer is it heals past lives. And I think that we have so much baggage that we've brought into this current life, that until you heal the past, you'll never be healed in the future. And that includes your descendants. So I think that's how I interpret golden healer. Yeah. So there, Leanne. Okay. That's exactly what I'm saying. So just trust your intuitions, guys. I mean, it's just, if you love crystals and you appreciate them, then you will definitely select the crystal that is meant for you that day, that moment, or that intention. I have a manifestation spell working right now, and I've got crystals over there that I never would have intentionally picked out. And when I say mentally picked out, I'll clarify that. But they're over there, and they're just doing an amazing job. And it's because that crystal volunteered to help me with this project that I'm working. So I have to trust that it's, doing the best for me and itself. And just approach your crystals in that way, because you're going to be very surprised. Don't pigeonhole it. Okay, so today Leanne picked a red jasper. So Leanne, you might want to think about what is that red jasper mean for you. You could even start out with the basics. Get your books out and read what the base personality of a red jasper is. And if that resonates with you, then that's great. But if it doesn't, then take some time and just sit with that red jasper. Let your mind unfocus, close your eyes, and then just quietly hold that red jasper in your hand, and let some scenes run through your mind, words, thoughts, feelings, until something happens to where you're like, you have an aha moment, and you're like, okay, that's what this red jasper can do for me. Because as I said, they can't tell us anything verbally. Oh, Labradorite. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Lucinda, please. Yeah, you bought a Labradorite sphere from us, and it has a perfect face on it. Yeah. So, okay. I forget what that is. When you see symbols, and everything. and everything. Right, everywhere. Okay. Yeah. So there's actually a a phrase for that. Let me see. I'm going to go online here. Let's see here. I'm Googling. You see faces everywhere. So it's oh, I can't even pronounce this. It's pareidolia. Yeah, so where you see faces. Through meditation with the sphere, the spirit chose to reside in this gem. Yeah. You know, I really think that there are so many life forms that exist in parallel with us that we really have to be open to the fact that, especially crystals, which have energy. We all admit, I mean, we have to admit that crystals have energy. I mean, they use them for computers, they were in our watches. There's just so many uses, practical uses for crystals, which is because they have energy. So we are of energy. So how can they not have spirit? That's something that I truly believe. So for a spirit to choose to reside in your labradorite sphere, yeah, I can see that. I really can, because they have life. I mean, I I can completely understand why a spirit would choose to live in a sphere, especially when it was beautiful, right? And it was perfect size. You don't know why yet? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I really think that you're going to need to do some work with that, Lucinda, to really understand what its purpose is and how you can help it, and possibly how it can help you. Oh yeah, Linda. What is today? Today's Tuesday. We mailed it out yesterday. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, so then there's it's almost like the golden healer led you to your shaman, and so now you've begun this journey of exploration. So I don't think things like that are for chance. You know, I just don't really think that. I mean, you've all had those experiences of where the hair on the back of your neck raises and you just get a chill bump, and you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened to me? It's like you're in the perfect moment in the universe and you experience something that you were meant to experience. You know, you may not understand it fully today, but just know that you were put there at that spot for a reason. Yeah, absolutely, Leanne. I agree. Yeah, we do need to hear what you find out about that, Lucinda, because I think it just emphasizes how unique um, we all are, and and I think we embrace the fact that we're not. I'm okay. I'm going to speak for myself. I use the word we, and I shouldn't have. Um, I have a friend who said to me, "Tina, why can't you be normal?" That's what he said to me, and I said to him, I said, "I am normal. This is my normal. This is me. This is how I believe. This is how I want people to see me. So this is my normal." And I think there's a lot of people like me who aren't mainstream thinkers. We're a little bit elevated, and we can and go beyond this plane, and see beyond the veils that have been put over our eyes. That's how I see the people that really connect with crystals, and not in an aesthetic way. I mean, I love crystals. Don't get me wrong. I think they're gorgeous. I mean, this little guy has just been winking at me all night. You know, he's pretty. He really is a cutie. Um, so he's not only gorgeous, but I also think that crystal has the power to to assist me. You're normal. I know. Yes, we are, Linda. You're right. Absolutely. I'm as normal as I'll ever be. Yeah. Um, I know. I'll tell you this little story, and it's not really crystal related, but my brother went to go see a doctor who his normal doctor wasn't in, so they gave him an alternate doctor in the same practice. And she was trying to get my brother to take teas and take some herbal supplements and, change his diet and, meditate. And he was like, I need to give you this lady's number because she's not for me. She's more for you. So he recognizes that mindset, that frame of thought is more of how my belief is and where his isn't. And so he wants the black and white doctor to give him the pill. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I know. So I'm extremely proud of the fact that I am my favorite. One of my favorite movies, Mel Brooks, was the Young Frankenstein, where the abnormal brain. I mean, I am. I'm off center. And I say that in a good way. I don't want to be mainstream. I want to be able to see what's possible. And the seeing what's possible with the crystal, yeah. I mean, how could you close yourself off to this? Truly, how could you? Um, and like this one, I just noticed this. It has a triangle. I mean, right there. So when I see things like that, I just get so excited because I'm like, that is a geometry. I mean, y'all understand sacred geometry. I mean, I don't have a really solid understanding or background in it, but I understand that it's called sacred geometry. They don't call it sacred geometry for nothing. And so when I see geometric shapes like the triangles in a natural crystal, this was dug up out of the earth, and it grew into have a triangular shape, that's special. You can't discount that. It's not a coincidence. It's not it's something just like, oh, well, yeah, it looks like a triangle, but what's the big deal? To me, that's special. And I think that it's important that we recognize those special characteristics of the crystals we have in our possession because they're trying to tell us something. They really are. And I know that everyone on this call recognizes the unique characteristics of their crystals, and you just try and connect with them the best that you can. And certainly, you got to put in the work. Just like anything, it just won't come easy. But if you're struggling with something, a decision, a situation, a person, we all will have that. Sometimes more than in one day. Um, but I really would offer the, the chance for you to connect with your crystals that you have already. I have, and that's why when I first started this live show, I wanted everyone to understand that this is not about selling. We're not selling crystals. I want to do more than that. I want you to connect with the crystals you have. Right. Okay. Yeah. That's a good thing, Linda. Right. I really think that you're better off with them than not having them in your life. There's just so many beneficial things about them. I mean, when I do healing sessions, I think about the crystals I need. And I don't even think of them as a tool in the common way. I think of them as an assistant, right? They're assisting me. Sometimes they take center stage. Ah, wow. That's amazing, Angel. Her Angel, Lucinda. Yeah. No, I completely appreciate that. Hey, Kirsten, how you doing? Thanks for joining. I was actually telling a story about you. So Kirsten was one of the ones that went to Arkansas and had her amazing dig over this past weekend. I was actually telling them, everyone that's on the show right now, of your experiences. Of course, I wasn't there, but from what I could tell by Ronnie's call yesterday and what I saw posted online, they were able to connect with the most amazing crystals. The one that Kirsten has is, well, they're all one of a kind, but Kirsten, I don't. Yeah, this is just the crystal that she got was just there. I can't find the words to even explain what it's like. It's or even describe it. It's beautiful. I mean, just absolutely stunning. And I'm looking at it from a video, or it was a video call, so I can't even feel it. So I'm sure Kirsten is actually experiencing the power of the crystal that you can somewhat see in the audio and the video, but not what it really can do for us. You need to make sure, Kirsten, that you don't put that one um, on a shelf somewhere and forget about it, because it really was meant for you to elevate your practices. Yeah, take advantage of it because it is a one of a kind. It's what is it? I can't even describe the noun that I would use for that type of crystal. I don't know. It's profound. It really is. So what we've been talking about, Kirsten, are well, we started out with amethyst, but then we ramble like most conversations have, that opportunity just to go from segue to segue. So is there any specific experiences? Oh, see, you're amped up. Yeah, I can see that. So Kirsten went on this Hamilton Hill in Arkansas, and they actually opened up a vein. And she was one of the few people that were able to go into the vein and pull out crystals. Oh, hey, Amy. Presley. Oh, sweetie. You're so cool. Presley, I tell people that your room is like a sparkly unicorn. Um, the light is just so well, I mean sparkly, but it's just it actually chases away all shadows. So Presley is Amy Brown's little girl, and I had the opportunity to go help Amy's son Hunter with a. It wasn't really a house cleansing. I really think it was to help Hunter um, recognize his powers in being a spiritual contact, and then putting the spirits in timeout, if you will. She has the biggest grin. That's so cool. Yeah, she's got sparkly unicorns everywhere in her room. I mean, this little girl, I'm telling you guys, she there was no way that any negative energy can exist in her room. Okay, Michelle. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I really think that that's an amazing approach too. So the amethyst and what Michelle's saying right now is that um, the crystal that the amethyst that she chose to charge and to take control over certain aspects of her home, has she's seen a huge shift. Absolutely, yeah, and it's subtle, it and that's what it needs to be. You know, we don't want to have a big jolt in the home, but I really think that if you strategically place crystals in certain areas of your home, and then energize and put an intention and actually invoke, you know, the spirit of the crystal, and you know, let them know that you know you're asking them to help you, and they'll be okay. Just what else do they have to do, right? They want a job, they want to have a focus in life, and they want to be able to help you. Hi, Jessica. How are you doing? Thanks for joining. We're talking about amethyst. That was our focal crystal, but we've been bringing just the overall mindset of having crystals in our possession and how we work with them. or how they work with us, right? It can go both ways. Yeah, Michelle. I mean, I think that even when you move them around, if you'll intuitively move a crystal from one point in your house to another, just knowing that that's where it needs to be. It's almost like you're activating it. Okay, yeah, so we were actually talking. I think a lot of people on this call, amethyst was their first crystal. Mine, and I have just on this table, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 amethyst crystals. It's probably the most prolific crystal I have. It's amethyst. So it's multi-purpose, and it's something that you can actually use for several different reasons. And I think people also give these as gifts. So I actually consider them to be like a love stone. When you give a gift to somebody, you're actually telling them you care about them. So I think amethyst has a lot more characteristics and importance that we give it credit for in a lot of ways. Yeah, so I think it's really important, and especially for young ones. The amethyst is pretty. I'm going to call tame. I'm going to put the word tame to it. So it's not overpowering, and it's not something that you could use in a negative way. What does amethyst work well with? So for me, the amethyst itself is a royal crystal. So it really depends on what your intention is, Amy. So if you want something to help support it and amplify the power of amethyst, then you need to have a crystal that's on par with it. You want to make sure that they're equal. Otherwise, the supporting crystal may not get its fair, not be able to put forth its full energy for the task at hand. Or you can have the crystal that will, become a supporting character or have a supporting role in it, like amplify it a little bit. So I would say something like maybe even a danbarite would be that type that would support the crystal, the amethyst. It's almost like if the amethyst needs a breather, take a break. I'm sure being that strong of a crystal, it can't be strong all the time. It's going to need to take a little bit of a break, right? So just think about that. So it really going to depend on what your intention is. What work is that amethyst going to perform? It's an easy first crystal, right, Linda? Absolutely. And the little tumbles, that they're attractive. They actually can entice the little ones into holding the crystal. And as Lucinda first mentioned, she calls it a gateway crystal. Oh, you keep it. You know what? I don't know if I have. If it's hold on just 1 second. No, I don't. I have clear quartz, but you know what? I'm going to have to try putting amethyst on my tarot decks. Right now, I have clear quartz. I like that suggestion, Lucinda. I'm going to try that and see how the visions change if they do. Right, I know. Right, the lavender essential oil. Absolutely, Kirsten. That's a perfect analogy. Yeah, I mean, because it is. Well, I have really fond memories of my grandmother's lavender tree, or lavender field. It wasn't a tree. She had a section in the backyard with lavender, and it just really invokes a lot of calming and comforting memories. And I think that's what amethyst can do. Oh, your granddaughter. Yeah, why wouldn't she? Linda, you're her grandmother, so I can imagine there's that connection. Oh, now Maribel, I love smoky quartz, so I can definitely see that being a really strong supporter of Amethyst. Yeah, um, definitely in a lot of ways equal. Uh, okay, yeah, so this is, let me just run this by you guys and see what you think. So an Amethyst being a extremely strong master healer, you know, that negative energy has to go somewhere. So when you, if you're working with a amethyst to heal something, yourself, others, that 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 energy, that illness, that disease, whether it be spiritual, physical, mental, has to go somewhere, right? It just doesn't dissipate. It has to be released, and when it's released, it goes beyond the form, right? So my physical form. And that's where, Linda, you'll probably attest to this when we're doing our shaman work. You have to be really careful about, you know, when you're shooing away energy, you're putting it in that direction. So you want to make sure that it's captured, it's contained, or there's a barricade there. So Maribel, let me present to you this this idea and see if it makes sense to you. So when you're working with amethyst and you have smoky quartz near it, which to me, smoky quartz, the one thing I love about smoky is that it transmutes negative energy. So it takes that negative energy and it converts it into positive. So can you imagine, just visualize, guys, this amethyst, you put it on a client or yourself, and it's healing, removing the negative energy. So it's taking it away, right? So that negative energy's got to go somewhere. So then you have smoky with it. And then that smoky, it's almost like a vacuum, you know, it just sucks up that negative energy and it takes it and converts it into positive. Yeah. Oh, I love that idea, Maribel. Thank you so much for that suggestion. I'm going to try that. I know that I have a few pieces of smoky quartz that I could enlist in a healing session just to see how all of that works, because that is a consideration, right? Because when you're healing yourself or someone else, that negative energy has to go somewhere. So what do you do with it? Just pretend like you're sweeping up the house. You know, you got dust on the floor. You put it in a dustpan. You have to do something with it. You have to, right? So you just can't let it sit there, because then you'll walk through it and then you'll get it back all over the house. Yes, it's a great idea. Thank you so much, Maribel. I love that idea. That's amazing. Really, really amazing. Oh my gosh, guys. This is exactly what I was hoping that we could experience for these calls, is that bouncing ideas against each other, seeing, you know, what you experience, and, you know, bringing to light something that I would experience, or even Linda, and then just giving each other an idea that, you know, might work specifically, but then you can expand on it. And then if you can come back and share your experiences working with an amethyst and spirit quartz, or, you know, what I suggested, amethyst and danbarite, or any other crystal that may not immediately come to mind, you know, as a suggestion. I really, really appreciate the idea that you can offer that. And I know that sometimes we discount our own abilities and our own intuition. So I really want to see if y'all can just step outside of that and just take a moment and, you know, go through your personal possessions collection. I don't know, family members, I'm going to call them family members, and just see, you know, how they can help you in certain circumstances and situations. And I think I'm going to do that too. So I still wanted to do a focal crystal for next week, and I haven't, I'm trying to come up with a list of crystals that we'll talk about. I think it's a good way, good segue, right? Yeah, I think so too, Maribel. Thank you. But I think it's a good segue for us to have a specific and unique crystal to talk about. So if you have some ideas, I'd love to take them and just try to, have a. What I want to do though is make sure it's a common enough crystal that we've all had an experience with, or try, somewhat of an experience with. I don't want to get a collector stone that I can't even pronounce, much less have in my collection because it's so expensive. I want to keep it to where we all have the opportunity of come in contact with it, so that we have the ability to share an experience with it, or if not an experience with it today, then be able to go out and purchase that crystal because of everyone's suggestions. So if you have some suggestions of what crystals we should talk about next week, I'd love to hear them. I try and set the event up by the end of Saturday at the latest, just so that that I can give people time to put it on their calendar. Yeah, we can do smoky quartz again. Yeah, I mean it's my favorite. I can attest. I'm a believer. I'm certainly a believer. How about if we do this then, Leanne? Okay, so citrine. I love citrine. Guys, would you mind if I okay, Linda, I'm going to write down citrine, and I want to say something about Leanne. Maribel, do you mind if we use your idea? And if y'all have a smoky and an amethyst, would you mind, Maribel, if we took your idea and we all worked with a smoky and an amethyst, and then come back next week? We can pair them together and see how they either support, contradict, complement each other, and then come back next Tuesday and share our experiences. What do y'all think about that? Ooh, and selenite. Good idea. Okay, let me write these down. Yeah, y'all are coming up with some amazing suggestions. Thank you so much. Okay, so Linda. Okay, perfect. Okay, so guys, if you don't mind, I've got citrine and selenite down for a future show, but because it's still fresh in our memory, if y'all don't mind, next week I'd like to talk about the pairing, like you would a fine wine and a fine cheese, smoky quartz and amethyst. Okay, so let's all choose a smoky quartz and an amethyst in your possession, right? Big, small, ugly, beautiful, doesn't matter. Whichever one appeals to you, and you connect with it. Go walk around your house, saying out loud the intention that you want a volunteer to step forward, a smoky and an amethyst, that they can collaborate together, and then take some time, before next Tuesday, sit with your pair, hand, one in one hand and one in the other, on your lap, on your head, on your foot, lay down, sit down, whatever makes sense to you. And then next Tuesday, if you can, come back and join with us and talk about your experiences to see, how that pairing went. And good, bad, indifferent. I'd just love to hear your experiences, because I really think that Maribel and Leanne, you actually, no, I'm sorry, it was Amy. Amy asked about, what crystal would work well with amethyst, and then Leanne, came up with the smoky quartz. So I think all of us together we're coming up with a common mindset. Oh, this is so exciting. I am just so thrilled, guys. Thank you so much for presenting these options and experiences. I never would have contemplated this. So without you, it wouldn't have happened. So thank you again, everyone, for the collaboration. I think it's going to be so amazing next week. And for anyone that joins that's not on tonight, then we'll be able to introduce to them a possible new experience that I never thought about doing. So that's in itself amazing, right? So we'll have the opportunity to explore this week. And then anyone that joins us next Tuesday that wasn't on tonight's call, I think that they'll be able to gain a lot of information and knowledge from what the groundwork that we laid, and then offer up to them the possibility of doing the same that we did. This is so cool. Thank you guys so much. This is amazing. I know, teamwork, right, Leanne? Yeah, it takes a village to raise a child, and this is when you have ideas like this, like Maribel and Amy had, and then of course Leanne, suggesting the smoky quartz. That was just, yeah. It's. I don't really think that there's any singular ideas out there. I really think that people, they experience and decipher and vocalize and materialize thoughts, and from that they couldn't have done that without coming in contact with another person in some way, whether it be physically, emotionally, or vocally, right? So it all lends itself to together. So I agree, teamwork is the way to go. Absolutely. Oh, I just noticed that I kept y'all beyond our allotted time. So I want to tell y'all again. See? All right. So Linda, you need to go find a volunteer as a Smoky. Yeah, go find a volunteer that's a Smoky, because it's waiting out there. You've got them in your house. I know you do. And because Amethyst and Smoky, they're both extremely common. Oh, yeah, Maribel. No, thank you. You had the brilliant idea tonight. So I appreciate you showing up tonight. Yeah, so this has been so cool, guys. Yeah, and this is really what I was hoping that we could achieve. Triskele Odyssey has the platform, and it just lends itself well to the mindset that we're building here today. And I really appreciate y'all showing, because I know it's precious time that you could be spending on other things. And I really appreciate the fact that you were able to carve out that time for us, and the fact that everyone's commenting and sharing thoughts. That in itself is amazing too, right? There's so many people that feel hesitant about sharing their ideas because they're afraid that they're going to look like they're stupid, or they don't know what they're doing, or they're embarrassed about throwing out an idea. And I have to say that that's not what this group is about, because none of us are experts. And I say that just because I don't want anyone to feel like they can't share because they may not have the same level of experience. And that's why I want to keep it extremely safe and open for everyone to just throw out ideas, because it might seem to be common for you, but for me, it could be revolutionary, like Maribel. So it's like, that's amazing. So it takes a village to raise this child. So thank y'all again. And I'm going to let you go, and I know you've got things to do. So I appreciate it very much. And so next week, we're going to do this is homework. And you're not going to get graded, but I certainly appreciate the fact when you show up and give me your experience. So we're going to have an Amethyst and a Smoky, and we're going to bring them together, and we're going to see how they work, and come back and tell us what your experiences are, because I really think that I think all of us will have a different experience in some way, but we might be amazed at how similar they are too. Yep, absolutely. So thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much. And blessings. Yes, have a wonderful week too. Y'all try and stay stress-free if you can. It's so hard sometimes, but find the crystal that'll help you with it, because it's out there in your house right now, just waiting to volunteer. So thank you again. Blessings. Thank you again, guys. And we'll see you next Tuesday. And I'll post the event no later than Saturday. So mark your calendars. And if you can, share with people about what we're planning for next Tuesday, and maybe they can gain some knowledge and benefit from it. So thank you again, guys. We'll talk to you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.